sure we're starting here. Alright, what is up, guys? Happy Friday. I don't know if you guys can see a little tail wagging right here. We got Rascal joining us in the kitchen. So as I said, making a live cooking video for you. Get out there, buddy. It's going to be a kind of a healthy-ish take on an Italian meal. While Rascal's trying to get into the garbage. So what it is it's going to be a ground chicken stuffed bell pepper. So you can use ground chicken or ground turkey. It's just kind of a good alternative. I have nothing against red meat, but sometimes it's not the greatest, and a lot of Italian foods seem to be more red meat focused and like the meat sauces and things of that nature. So going to that ground chicken or that ground turkey might be a little bit better of an option. This is not going to be the cleanest, healthiest, most beautiful recipe in the world. That's not the intention of this video. The intention is to give you guys something that's decently healthy that you and your family will enjoy. So it's better than going to Five Guys and getting a double bacon cheeseburger with fries and an extra large Coke lime. That's the best flavor. Not that I would know, of course. But it's also not as restrictive as something that's, week one of the challenge. This is definitely not challenge proof either, so make sure we don't mix those up. So just going over what I have set up so far is I have some water boiling because the recipe calls to boil the bell peppers for 5 minutes to kind of pre-cook them before you throw them in the oven so they're the right kind of consistency when you're going to eat them after. So I have that boiling. I have my oven preheated at 350, and I have my saucepan. I don't know if it's a saucepan, just whatever, like a normal pan heating up to cook the ground chicken in before I throw it all in the oven. So that's what I have going. So what I'm going to do first is I am going to cut the tops off the bell pepper, kind of circle out or core out the seeds and kind of that white part. And then I'm going to throw them in the water. The water's not, it's just like right below boiling. That's good enough for me. And then as those peppers are getting boiled up and getting situated, I'm going to start cooking my chicken and get that all together as well. So I'll bring you guys along with it. The only thing I'm not going to record is once the bell peppers get thrown in the oven, because there's really not much else from there. And believe it or not, I think I'd have a hard time talking for 20 minutes about nothing. Yeah, so let's get started. I just picked the yellow bell peppers because at Kroger today, they seem to be the biggest. The red ones were a little bit smaller, and I feel like they wouldn't hold the meat as well. So I just picked the yellow ones. There's nothing fancy about them, nutrition, or I don't care. It was, again, just made the most sense size-wise. So again, I'm going to cut off the top. I'll show you guys too once I'm done with the first one, just so you can see what I'm doing. Kind of see from there. So you're gonna cut off the top, and then I'm gonna make a cut circularly. That's a hard word to say, but you guys know what I'm trying to say. Cut in a circle, and get out the white part that has all the seeds. And I'm gonna bring it over my garbage. Kind of twist it. I feel like that works best. Is once you make your cuts, is to make a circular twist. All right, shake it up. All right, so this is what I did with the thing. I just learned laundry a few years ago, but I'm not great at it. And I'm not good at putting it away, so I'm not a keeper. Yeah, maybe better if I could bring out my thesis defense and just go through that for a couple minutes and bore you guys with that. But that's what I did with the bell pepper. One tip is, I don't know if it will show up with the lighting, but there are some leftover seeds, and those can kind of be annoying to get out. So I'm just going to rinse it under the sink, and that usually just clears up most of the seeds. And if not, it's a bell pepper. It's not spicy, so it's not going to be like, oh my gosh, my mouth's on fire. So it doesn't really matter if the seeds are in it or not. We'll rinse it out just to get a majority of them out. All right. That's my first one, so I'm just going to repeat that process for my second bell pepper. I'm going to turn down my flame just a little bit so I don't, because now that water is starting to boil. Also, when you guys boil your peppers, the recipe calls for 5 minutes, and do not over boil it because it will get mushy, and then it probably will fall apart in the oven, and that is no fun. So 5 minutes. I might even do a touch shorter at like 4:30 or 4:45 just to play it safe, because I do not want my what's it called? My peppers to be mushy. And then I'm just gonna take my tongs and drop them in the boiling water. And they're gonna float a little bit, but that's all right. Hopefully the heat travels up something. It's good enough, to be honest, as long as some of it gets. Here's a pro tip. We'll tip it upside down. Let me get my timer. We'll tip it upside down so the water gets in it and so it gets heavy. That's some high level Gordon Ramsay type stuff. All right, there we go. All right, so now I'm gonna get my chicken together. So I already have my pan heated up. I'm gonna throw some oil in there, some olive oil. You can use whatever oil you like. I'm gonna turn my flame just a little bit because olive oil does have a low smoke point. I just have ground chicken. It's been defrosting, it's right here. So I'm going to throw that in my pan. Probably gonna sizzle a little bit. All right, turn it down just a little bit. Break that up. Popping at me. All right, let that cook. And one thing I'm going to add into the chicken to give it that more Italian flavor is I'm going to do some garlic. To me, garlic is like puppies. You can't have enough of it. So I just have 2, mostly out of laziness. Because I'm not very good at cutting things. I can't julienne anything. But do as many as you want. Again, it doesn't really matter. I didn't do a very good job, to be honest, cutting it, but it's okay. So I'm going to throw that garlic in there. And then also seasoning-wise, I have my Himalayan pink salt. Alright, no one wants bland, flavorless chicken. I also have some pepper. And then normally I use Italian seasoning that you would get just in the spice section at any grocery store. But I switched it up today. I wanted to go a little bit more of the fresher route. So what I'm doing instead, this is really up to you guys depending on what flavors you like. But what I'm doing instead, I'll bring it up to the screen, is I bought, it's more in the refrigerated section, kind of refrigerated. It's by Gourmet Garden. Let me hope that line's not too hot. Let me get my flash shot on my phone so it shows up better for you guys. The Gourmet Garden, hold on. I'm looking at myself in reverse. There we go. Italian herbs. It's a little bit more, I'm hoping that maybe with that increased freshness, that I'm going to get a little bit more flavor out of it and just really get, and this is comprised of parsley, basil, and oregano. So some really good flavors there. Obviously, I'm not going to pour the whole thing in it. That would be horrible. But I really want to get some good flavors in there. Because again, bland chicken sucks. So a little bit of that. Also, I'm going to put some sauce in there too once the chicken starts to get closer to being done. So that will also kind of tone down some of that seasoning. So even if you do put a little too much, and just add a little bit extra sauce to calm down the herb flavor. Turn my heat up just a touch. And then in terms of sauce, guys, you can really use whatever you want. I went to the organic route, but again, really the world does not end if you don't have organic. We don't have to be scared of chemicals. Most of these things, it's the dosage, as this one saying goes, it's the dosage that makes the poison. If you have, something that's non-organic, you're not automatically going to shrivel up and lose all health. So I got Kroger's version. I need my flashlight again. Kroger's version of their brand of organic. Oops, hold on. Okay, so it's their marinara sauce, pasta sauce. It has some herbs in it. I can't really tell what's in there. Honestly, as you guys are probably aware, there are tons of different sauces out there in regard to, mushrooms or garlic and tomato flavored or garlic and oregano flavored. You guys can do whatever you guys like, whatever you and your family like. Just don't ruin my recipe with mushrooms. Mushrooms are the worst thing to ever happen to this world in cooking. So don't do that. But everything else is good. I have about 30-ish more seconds on my bell peppers, and then I'm gonna take them out and get ready to fill them with our chicken that's almost done. So as that's finishing up, also I'm gonna pour my sauce in now, but one thing you guys can do is you don't have to cook the chicken 1000% all the way in the pan that I have right now. And the reason is it's going in the oven for whoops. So you guys, this is I didn't really plan this part out, so we're gonna figure this out. There we go. It's going in the oven at 350 for 20 minutes. So even if it's still a touch pink, it's going to cook in those 20 minutes. So don't panic too much about that. So here again, I got my bell peppers. So that as that chicken is finishing up, wow, it's like a workout trying to get this can open. There we go. All right, so let's toss that sauce. Toss that sauce, that's rhymes, that's funny. All right, throw that in there. I'm gonna save a little bit of sauce just in case I wanna add a little bit more once I stuff the pepper. So let that finish cooking. Again, it's okay if it doesn't cook all the way because again, it's gonna be in the oven for quite some time. And I'm gonna let that kind of do its thing. Mike, I think if you're talking about the sauce, I think I saw that brand at Kroger. I'll have to give it a try next time. I do not have a favorite sauce. I have made pasta sauce, I do believe, before. So I'm gonna let that chicken cook. I have a pro tip for you guys, and this is gonna really be a game changer. So I'm going to put mozzarella once I'm done with the done cooking the chicken. I'm gonna throw some mozzarella in there. But what I'm also gonna do, like, have you guys ever had the drumstick ice cream? At the very bottom, there's that little like inch of chocolate, and it's like the best thing ever. Well, I'm gonna do essentially that with cheese. I'm gonna put a little bit of cheese at the bottom. So then, right at the very end, I have this gooey, warm cheese that has some leftover sauce, some like kind of meat drippings, and it's just gonna be fantastic. So I'm gonna stir on the chicken a little bit just to make sure everything is flipped over and coated with the sauce, so it's all getting cooked. I'll probably go 2 more minutes. So let me set a timer on my phone. My oven's already preheated, that's all good. But I will do, actually what I want to do, to save the mozzarella cheese, we have some provolone, and I'm gonna actually put the provolone on the bottom. And then also, like, because here's another, I'm gonna say the word pro tip a lot because I like that word, but I'm telling you guys, the best provolone cheese is from Aldi. I will just eat this as a snack because it is that good. So that's what I'm gonna put in the bottom of my bell pepper. So I'll do 2 slices per bell pepper. I'm trying to figure out the best way to make this work. I'm gonna turn my flame down a little bit so I don't overcook my chicken. I should do 1 slice, it's not gonna bend very well. So we'll do 1 slice of mozzarella at the bottom. All right, that's gonna be real good. Perfect. And then what I also have, guys, that you guys won't see, I will take a picture of it and post it in the comments of this video, is I have some jasmine rice. You can use whatever rice you guys like. Yeah, shred your own cheese. Lori, I'm not fancy enough for that. I have a little bit of Italian in me, but I'm not that Italian. But I'm gonna have some rice. I'm gonna put the rice kind of on the bed of the bell peppers. So as I start cutting open the bell pepper and the sauce kind of oozes out, I do have a bed to soak that up. So again, you can use whatever rice you'd like. Again, guys, that's way too complicated for me. Melts way better, probably, but again, this is the easygoing cooking show. This is not the Gordon Ramsay experience. Even though I know that's not the name of his show, but akin to cooking with Gordon Ramsay. So I'm going to take, actually no, I'll wait a little bit longer. How much time do I got left in my, oh yeah, perfect, 5 seconds. So I'm going to stop cooking my chicken. All right. I'm going to bring my casserole dish over. This is probably gonna be a mess, but that is okay. Oh, before I do that, let me throw in some of my mozzarella. All right, and then I'm gonna top it with some mozzarella too, so then at the very top, it gets brown and has a nice kind of melty hat, as I'm gonna call it, melty cheese hat. All right, so it's all kind of stirred up. So let me just dump it in there, fill it to the top. It's gonna be messy, kind of making a mess, but it's okay. Cooking is supposed to be messy. All right. So, all right, that's real messy, but again, it's all good in the hood. All right, so I have filled up my bell peppers, have the provolone at the bottom. I'm just gonna get some of these extra cheese stringy things out of the way. All right, where's my towel at? All right, so we're there. What I'm going to do is just very lightly do a small sprinkle of the herbs on each pepper, just so you feel like you're in like Venice or Rome, and you're like sitting outside and there's, maybe you're in a gondola eating it, who cares? All right, so now we're going to top with some more mozzarella. This is too complicated, let me pour my hand. All right, keep going. All right, other pepper. Not pouring very easily. It's all like powdery. Whoever ground up this this batch should lose their job. All right, I'm gonna go back to the other one, cover that one a little bit better. All right, so I will show you guys what it looks like. All right, so now what you're gonna do is throw it in the oven for 20 minutes at 350. And then once you hit that 20-minute mark, flip it to broil for 2 minutes. It's gonna help get that top of that cheese I just sprinkled on top, get nice and brown and nice and delicious. I will post a picture, guys, of it after, once it comes out of the oven, and let you know how it tastes. Maybe I'll even reply with a tasting video. But that's all we got. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys had a good Friday and are enjoying your Friday evening. And don't forget, as you guys are probably most excited about, 8 o'clock tonight, we have wrestling. I don't know what that means, Mike. Yeah, I don't know. But thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for tuning in. So I'm gonna set this in the oven, and I will catch you guys next time. If you guys try this recipe, let me know how it went for you, your family. Don't give it to your dog; it's probably not good. But everyone else you gave it to, let me know how it turned out. All right, see ya.